like, am I about to
the
die?
empath was hitting you.
And I'm like, am I about to die? Am I about to die? And they're like, no, you're not going to die. And I'm like, I have a sister. I have a twin sister. And I'm like, whatever you do, just don't let me die. I have a twin. She can't do this life without me. Just do whatever you can do to keep me here. And then I blacked out.
Okay.
And that was it.
And you woke up in the hospital, and then what?
I woke up in the hospital, and I had people around me, and the doctors and everything, and I'm still not knowing my legs were in the shape that they were in. I broke my legs from the femur down.
Oh, wow.
This femur popped out. This was shattered. My knees were shattered. I broke the fibula, tibia, anything that could have been shattered, broken from femur down to tibia
Oh, my God.
was broken. So,
and they didn't tell you that from the beginning? They were just concerned about your mental state?
to be honest, I really don't remember
Right,
that part.
I can imagine.
I know they said I had a ruptured spleen.
Oh, wow.
And that, so it was the ruptured spleen in the legs, and my face and everything. My head was good. I didn't do anything pertaining to like my head, my brain, and everything. So that was definitely a blessing.
Right.
But everybody just being around me, and then the doctors are talking, and I'm trying to like capture like what they say
what
they're saying.
yeah.
And then I'm like, heavily medicated and everything.
Right.
And I remember my legs just hurting. And I guess I had so much medication, it wasn't hurting like that. But I was just like, remember them hurting. And I looked down, and I'm like, yo, like, what's going on? But I'm still not in the mindset that it's like what it is. And then as the doctor's talking to my parents, but everybody said like the way I was talking, they knew I was out of it, because like they're talking to me, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm fine. I'm about to go home tomorrow. And they're looking at me like, no, you're not. I'm like, I'm going home, y'all. I'm going home. And everybody's like, you're not going home. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, I'm going home. Like, I was always so persistent. I was always so determined and motivated. Like, it wasn't nothing that was taking me from my
Nothing
joy.
was going to stop you from going home, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to hold on to that. She's ready to go home. She wanted to go home. So we're going to take a break and be right back. I truly would like to thank our sponsor, Cannabis Botanicals, for their partnership. Visit Cannabis Botanicals in Wildwood. They have 3 locations and even a drive-through. Cannabis Botanicals, only the best and nothing less.
This episode was brought to you by True Sea Moss. Purchase your bottle of True Sea Moss at your local health and wellness shop in South Jersey. Follow True Sea Moss to learn about new flavors at True Sea Moss on Instagram.
Let's talk. Yeah, so you found out your legs were broken in so many different locations. You had a ruptured spleen. What other news did they give to you?
Well, at that time, I didn't get the news that I'm about to tell you. I stayed in the hospital from, which was supposed to be a week, turned into 3 months.
Oh, wow.
Because I ended up with an infection, and that's when I had constant surgeries, and, the setbacks was real. But I overcame. I got out the hospital. I went home. I got a call from the barracks in Woodstown. And I went down, and I made my statement to them and let them know, it was an accident. Everything, there was no drugs, there was no alcohol, it was no foul play.
I'm sure they probably tested you anyway.
I'm sure they did. And it was nothing in my system. And after we made the statement, they arrested me because they told me somebody has died in an accident.
So you had no idea that someone died prior to that? No one mentioned it? No one said anything to you?
No.
Wow. And they said it was your fault?
Yeah, they deemed it as my fault.
Wow.
So they arrested me on the spot. I stayed in there only for like a couple hours at that time. They just like fingerprinted, and I was just in there. But
I can't imagine what was going through your mind when they told you that you killed somebody.
Right, and that's
And
what
then they
was going through
arrested
my
you
mind.
right then and there.
Right,
It's like, wow, how do you process all that?
right. That was the part to me. Like, I killed somebody. Like, I killed somebody. Like, that part right there was just something that just didn't sit right with me because that's not me. That's not my personality.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then even at that I killed somebody. Like, they arrested me there, but I'm like, okay, what's next? Like, am I about to go to prison? Like, y'all just arrest? Like, what is going on? And they let me out, and a couple months later, I got indicted. And so I'm in the newspaper, and it's circling. And
Wow.
I'm still dealing with my legs and trying to walk and processing that. And now I'm in the process of starting to go to court. And in court, they're throwing numbers at me, talking about 5 years and, stuff. So, I got a lawyer.
Oh, yeah. You just got a lawyer when you went to court. You didn't have a lawyer when they arrested you?
I I had a lawyer that was there when I made my statement at first, but it wasn't nothing he could do. Like, I didn't lie about anything. It was
Right,
just,
right.
but I guess the fact that somebody passed away was the biggest part of what was going on with me. So it was just a rough time I'm dealing with, my legs and trying to recover. I couldn't even move.
I would say, could you walk?
No.
So you was
nowhere
in a
near.
wheelchair when they arrested you? Or
Yes.
was you in a walker?
No, I was in a wheelchair.
Oh, wow.
I was in a wheelchair in the police station. And that was it. It was indictment, and now I'm going to court, and they're trying to slam me with everything that they can. But, I'm sitting there like, it was an accident. I never meant to hurt nobody.
Right,
I'm a
right.
correctional officer. I'm not even this type person. Like, like, why did my life, like, how did this
Change in a
like
split
that?
second.
So it was a tough situation. It was a
I
tough
can't
situation.
even imagine. I can't even imagine trying to get recovery, first
Right.
of all, and you're in a wheelchair and you're going out to give your statement, the next thing they lock you up.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me. And I don't know how you can, like, phantom that.
Right. And then, so we're going to court, and they end up giving me 4 years.
Oh, my God.
That's what the charges was for a violation of public health and safety.
That's what the charge was?
Violation of public health and safety. That's what I was charged with. And I had to serve 4 years in prison.
Oh, my God. Stop right there. I can't even imagine doing a day, let alone getting that sentence of 4 years. So we're going to take some time to think about that, and we'll come right back after this. Coming up next in episode 5, part 3. Whew, I didn't know you got 4 years, girl.
Yeah.
Did you do all 4?